Hello everyone, welcome to this webinar. I'm Vova, head of community at Smartcat, and today we will be talking about collaborative translation, about how you can work with your team, how you can hire more freelancers from the Smartcat marketplace, how you can manage the payments all the while. But before we proceed, let me say that we are doing this webinar. You can watch this video in several places. You can watch it on YouTube, on Facebook, on our community website, but the best place to participate is Crowdcast. If you look under the video, you can see a link to Crowdcast. So if you have time, join it, because you will be able to participate in the discussion. You will be able to view the topics we are going to discuss, to upvote them, to ask your own questions, and to answer to polls. So if you are already on Crowdcast, you can also see the green button under the video that says Join Smartcat. If you are not yet on Smartcat, you can click it and check it out a bit later. Do you see and hear me well, I wonder, because it's the first time I'm using HD video. So let me know in Crowdcast chat if you can see me. Okay, great, thanks, Giuliano. So, as I said, you can ask your questions and you can answer to the polls. I will get back to this a bit later. So, yeah, I have a new background here. That's my son's realm. Anyway, today we will be talking about collaborative translation, and let's first make it clear what I mean by collaborative translation. I mean a translation where it is not you alone working on it. Of course, if you are a project manager or an agency owner, you most likely work with a lot of people in your translation, but usually we give these webinars for freelancers. So freelancers, for a freelancer, collaborative translation means any project where they resort to the help of others. By the way, speaking of this, let's find out who is in. Can you go to the polls tab on the left and vote? Okay, we see that we have 5 freelancers here, 3 translation project managers, more or less like I thought. So hopefully this webinar will be useful for all of you. First of all, for the freelancers out there, I want to tell a few words why managing projects is an important skill for freelancers. It is because it is a very in-demand job, actually. And I think that translators can do a great job here, because you know what translation is about. And if you are already in good relationship with your clients, if you always strive to be more than just a translator for them, more like a partner, then being a project manager is the natural next step. And this profession is the hardest to automate, because you know that Smartcat is all about automating things, not automating translators' work, of course, but automating everything that is around translation, like payments, collecting projects, managing resources, translation members, and so on. So this project management function is the hardest to automate, because you anyway need a human here who will be constantly monitoring how things are going. So if you are a freelancer, then this webinar can be useful for you in 2 regards. First, it is if you want to work on some, I don't know, volunteering project, maybe translate some book together with your friends or something. And the second way is if you want to be a project manager for your client, in which case knowing how to do this on Smartcat will really give you an edge. Speaking of Smartcat, the collaborative translation here means several things. It means that you can work with multiple languages at once. You can work in multiple stages, like translating, editing, proofreading. You can reuse the same resources, like translation members and glossaries. And you do all this in real time in the same document with several people working at the same time. So it is actually the only solution in the market that allows you to work in the same document at the same time. And today I'm going to showcase how this how this is done and how it looks like. I wanted to make this webinar a bit of more engaging and demonstrative, so I need 3 volunteers from the audience to participate in a collaborative translation project that we are going to create right now. First, we will show how to do this in general, then we will also show how to do this using the marketplace. So if any of you want to participate, please write in the chat. And in the meantime, I will share my screen so we can start working. 1 second, let me find where to share the screen. Once again, I forgot where to do this. Okay, here it is, application window. Okay, do you see my screen now? Yeah, let me focus on it. Oh, okay, it's already focused on. So while you're typing in the chat, I will log on to my account. By the way, if you're a freelancer, to use collaborative translation, you need a corporate account. There are 2 ways you can do this. The first way is to just get a corporate account, call yourself a translation agency, decide on the name you want to use. It can be the same name as your real name, and you need to write to support@smartcat.ai, asking to create an agency account for you. They will do this. The other option is to create an account for every client you work with. If you see my dashboard here, I have quite a few clients that I work with in Smartcat, but I will choose my own account, which is called the Russianist. And let us see. Okay, so we have Virginia, Franco, Isabel, Faustina. So can you also write the language pair in which you translate? I know Virginia, Faustina, you translate to Spanish. Italian, Franco, Isabel, Spanish, okay. Isabel, Juliana, Spanish. English, Portuguese, Brazil. Okay, I need 2 people in one language and 1 in another, so I need 3 volunteers. Let me choose then Virginia and Franco for Spanish and Faustina for Italian. And we will do it right now. So Franco, can you, I know already Virginia's and also, you know, Virginia, Faustina and Franco, can you type in your email addresses in the chat and also which town you are from, because we will be translating your hometown descriptions. In the meantime, I'll open Wikipedia so we can prepare a file. Okay. What about the hometown? Or okay, any town, any city? Okay, Faustina, Florence. Virginia, Rosario. And Franco. We'll open Florence. We will now spend 5 minutes preparing the document for us to translate, and then we will proceed. The point I want to make is to create a document that would contain a lot of text and some repetitions, some terminology, so that I can showcase how to use translation memories and glossaries. That's why I'm spending this time now doing this. Okay, so we have Florence here. Quite an article. Copied. Franco, also Florence. Wow, so we will then, okay, we will choose 2 towns. Florence, and the second one was Rosario, Argentina. Sorry for the lags with my laptop. Oh, Florence has such a huge description here. Okay, Florence is here. And we will take Rosario Santa Fe. Also quite a description. Okay, this can go for ages. Let's choose this part. Copy it here. I think I copied it twice. Let me see. No, it's fine. Okay. So, and here we go with Rosario. Sorry, I didn't expect it to lag that much, but we have to finish it anyway. Hello. Sorry, guys, you can go grab some coffee or something while my computer is lagging. Hopefully it will not last for too much. Okay, the font leaves a lot to be desired. Sorry, technical issues here. Okay, we will leave it like this. Not too pretty looking, but anyway, we'll call Florence and Rosario. We will download this document. Okay, from now on, I hope it will be going faster than this. I have downloaded the document and I will now upload it to Smartcat. Okay, so I uploaded the document. Now what I have to do is to choose in which language pairs we are going to translate it. You can choose several language pairs at once and you will be translating them within one project. In our case, it will be Spanish and Italian. By the way, Virginia, do you have Spanish or Spanish Argentino set in your profile? Anyway, I will be creating it in the meantime. So, and I will set, okay, I will also turn on glossaries. Translation memory will be created automatically. I will also create a glossary here that we will use later on. And I will choose two stages, translation and editing. I'm clicking finish. And let us see what we get as the result. Here's the document. Let's take a look at its statistics, how big it is. Generate statistics. In the meantime, I will also open it and check it out. Virginia, in the meantime, can you configure your profile just during this webinar to Spanish, from English to Spanish without the dialect, because I have already chosen the language here. So here we have our document. You can see that some of them, it is split into a table with the source text on the left, translation on the right. You probably already know how this works. You see also that some of the segments are repeated several times. You can judge this by the arrow sign here, which means that it's not the only segment with this text. So I'm now going to assign you guys to translate it. First, I'm going to assign Virginia and Franco to the Spanish text. By the way, Franco, can you also set it to Spanish for the time being? You can change it back later. So the options here are, you can add someone who is already in your account. I have quite a bit people here, but to invite new people, you can either invite them within the account by their emails, or you can invite them as freelancers. I will be now showing the first option. So when you should use it, you should use this option if you don't have to manage any payment issues between you. For instance, it's your wife or husband or friends, and you will either no one or you will pay somehow else. And if you want also to pay within Smartcat, then you should invite them as freelancers. That's the main difference between the two types of invites. First of all, let us invite you as colleagues. So right from the assignment, I'm entering your email addresses. Let me find first Virginia. User role assignee. There are different user roles. Assignee means that the person will be able to work on the document that you invite them to. Okay, the invitation sent out. I will also add Franco. 1 second. Where was this? Franco Mungo at Outlook ES. Also assigning. Right, and now what I will do, I will split the document between you. If you don't split the document, then both translators that you invite can work on the same segments, and unless they know each other well and they can communicate, they can mess up things because they will be working on the same segment ranges and so on. So usually what you do is, when you have a large document that you want several translators to work on, you split it. You do it by setting split the document, and let us select segments. You can assign segments by, you can choose the initial segment here. You can also do a text search. So now I'm assigning the segment to Virginia. So let us find Rosario here in the text. Okay, it's the end of Florence, and I think here is the beginning of the Rosario article. So let's start from here, and you can assign either directly the range of segments, or you can assign by word count, which is useful when you know that the person can handle, for instance, 1,000 words, and you assign 1,000 words to them. In our case, I will assign 100 words just to show it. Okay, assigned. And for Franco, I will assign Florence. The source document is a bit messed up. We will handle this anyway, so also assigning 100 words here. That's the text that Franco is going to translate. Assign, save assignments. And now we also need to handle, oh, I guess I didn't do it right. I assigned the other segment to Virginia as well. We can fix it easily, so I will go back, remove the first part, and save it like this. And for Franco, we will assign, as I just did, 100 words from here. Okay, we are done for the Spanish translation so far. You guys should have received an invitation in your email right now, and you now should be able to log on to the Russianist account. To do this, open your workspace, click here, and choose instead of personal, choose the Russianist. In the meantime, I will also invite Faustina. I will also invite via email. Let me see what your email was. Simon. And I will, in this case, I will not split the document, so I will assign the whole document to Faustina. She can work on it. Okay, now once you are in the account, let me know. I will, in the meantime, open a multilingual editor. It is a feature that is not enabled by default in your account. If you want to enable it, you should just write to support asking to enable multilingual editor for your account. It is pretty handy for a project manager because you can see all the languages involved in a translation in one single table. Okay, now we opened it. So here we have the Spanish column, the Italian column. If Faustina, if you are already in the account, and Franco, if you are already in the account. So Franco, are you experiencing any problems accessing this? So yes, you should log in, Franco, and there will be a list of accounts. One will be called personal, the other will be called the Russianist. In the meantime, let's see, Virginia, if you're already in the document, let us go to your segments and see how you translate them. I will also open the Spanish editor to show something. Okay, you see that it says here one other user. And if we hover over this label, just a second, let us wait until it loads. You can see that Virginia is also working in the document. Virginia, can you remind me? Okay, I can make a search for this segment. Segment number 242. So we are now going to go to the segment 242. Hey, Virginia, you can start translating something so we can see how you work. You see, I'm not typing this down. Here are my hands. So Virginia is doing this. Once Franco connects, hopefully, we will also be able to see, oops, I made some change here. Let us undo it. I, as a manager, can see the work of everyone participating. I cannot change the segments they are working on. They are locked in order to not to mess things up. In the meantime, we can see if Faustina already started translating something. Yeah, you can see that in Italian, Faustina is already translating the article about Florence. And once Franco connects, we will also be able to see how Franco translates here. So it all happens in real time. And you can check the whole progress from your workspace or from the document itself. At any time, you can see how many words are done on each stage, translation and editing. So unlike a usual workflow, when you just send something out to translators and you have to wait for them to do this, you have all the work going on as you proceed. Okay. I guess we can stop for now. I will show now what I wanted to show next. Let me see. I showed you multiple languages, multiple stages. Now I also want to show you the resources functionality. So let us see if we will go to the Italian document. Let me open it from here. So Franco is experiencing some problems. Anyone else in the Spanish or Italian pair wants to try it out? Okay, so for instance, we see that Faustina has already translated Florence. And if we look at the other segments that also have the same text, you can see, oh, you should have seen, for some reason you don't right now. Let me try to confirm this segment. Okay, as the segment is confirmed, you will get this, it's translated everywhere in the text. So if you work on, if you have translators working on a large document with repeating words, like if you're translating a lot of Wikipedia articles that all contain the same introductions or something, they will be inserted automatically, and the next translator who works on it will not have to translate it once again. Also, maybe we can now also add this word to the glossary. Translators can also do this, but in the meantime, I will show you how it works from my manager's workspace. So you click New Term, you enter Florence here, and edit. So everywhere, once you go to any segment that contains the word Florence, it will be highlighted and you will be able to insert the respective term from the glossary. It makes it much more consistent if you have a lot of translators working, or even if the same translator is working on a lot of documents, so that they don't forget the terms they use over time and so that they are consistent with the terminology they use. You just add everything to glossaries and have it done like this. So that's what I wanted to show about the resources, but it was a bit haphazard, but I hope you could understand three things. First, that you can work with multiple people working at the same time. They can work on the same document, on different segments of the same document. That you can assign different stages, and that you can use the same resources for different documents, or within the same document you can use the same glossary or translation memory. Let us see how we are doing with the Spanish translation. So unfortunately, Franco couldn't make it to the document, but anyway, we can handle this with Virginia alone. In the meantime, someone from the chat, can you also write me if someone also translate to Spanish or Italian? I will now be inviting you from the marketplace. So let's assume we have this translation done and we want to edit it, but to edit it, we want to hire some different people, not the same who were working. And so we will now be hiring them. So Faustina and Virginia, you can leave the document, because I will now be inviting you as, okay, I see that Faustina, you haven't translated that much, so I will also invite you as a translator. Let me show how it is done. First in Spanish, I click the same button, Assign Task. Check how far along Virginia is. Okay, 3 segments, so I will assign you to translate next segments. Here's how it is done. I'm clicking Change Assignments, and I'm clicking Add Assignee. Now, instead of inviting via email, I'm opening the marketplace, which is the most exciting part of Smartcat because it allows customers to easily hire translators to work on their documents, and it allows translators to offer their services by just filling out their profile and working in Smartcat. So let us find Virginia here. Let me check. I can use a search here. Okay, here's Virginia. I will choose her, and I will send a standard invitation right now. And you see that invitation is pending, but I can also assign some segments to Virginia. Oh, sorry, I did something wrong, I guess. I will, okay, so in this case, I already know that Virginia will accept the document, but sometimes sometimes I don't know this, so I can invite several people. I will not be doing it right now, but in general, you can do it like this. You will click Find Freelancers. We can also try finding Franco like this. Oh, don't see him here because probably the language is Spanish. Anyway, so you could select several people from the marketplace and invite them all. Once you invite them, you will have them pending until they accept the invitation. But you can also drag them here, which will mean that as soon as they accept the invitation, they will be able to start working. Here it's a bit confusing because we have Virginia and Virginia. One Virginia is the user within the account, and the other Virginia is a freelancer. So let's, for the time being, just remove this assignment from Virginia from within the account and invite her as a freelancer. Let us find these segments that she was translating. Let's start with, it's not so interesting, a lot of blah, blah, blah. Let us start with this segment and also do it for 100 words. In this case, it's a bit more than 100 words because we need to have a whole segment assigned. Anyway, we'll do it like this. We'll save assignments. And we will also then go, Virginia can start working already. She already has an invitation in her personal account that she can accept and start working. Let's see, there is a tab that's called Project Freelancers. When you go to it, you can see the freelancers invited to the project, who of them accepted the assignment, who hasn't, how much work they have done so far, and so on. Let's open this tab. Okay, so Virginia has already work in progress. She's already working. So just go on translating. I will be refreshing this page every now and then, and we will see how it's updated. In the meantime, we will invite Faustina. We will assign her from let's say segment 55, okay? List. So we will choose her, but in this case, I want to showcase another functionality. Let's say you have a translator and you agree that you will be working on a different rate for a given project because you know them and they are in the marketplace. In this case, you can add them to your team, so-called team, and invite them at a different rate. Let me show how it is done. So I'm opening Faustina's profile. I'm saving her to my team. And as soon as I save her to my team, I can edit her services. They will be edited only for my account. So it will not change the public profile Faustina has. It will only affect the rates at which I can invite her. So let's say I want to invite Faustina not at 5 cents per word, but at 10 cents per word. I will put it like this, and you can see that the commission of Smartcat is automatically added here. So Faustina will receive 10 cents for each word, and I will pay 11 cents for each word. So I'm saving this. Now, when I'm going back to this search, let me update it. I can also choose my team only. You can see that Faustina is already with a different rate. So I'm inviting her. And let me deassign this one. Assign this one. Nope. Like this. I said 55, right? Next time I will choose a better document that is better formatted because this one ended up a bit messy. So I assigned Faustina, and let us get back now to that. Faustina, you can now accept the job in your personal account and start working. In the meantime, let's go back to our freelancers page. You can see that Virginia has already completed 40% of her assignment. By the way, there was a question from the Facebook group. How do you, as a freelancer, count the number of words you have translated? You can do it here. So when you are working on a project from the marketplace, you also have such a project page on which you can see the number of words assigned to you, the number of payable words done, and so on. You cannot do this if you are working within the account outside of the marketplace, because it just doesn't work this way so far. So it works only if you are invited as a freelancer. By the way, I suggest that even if you start working as an in-account user, or if you start inviting your translators as account users, to ultimately switch to the freelancer mode, because it will make the process much more comfortable for you and for the freelancers. You will be able to pay them easily, as I will show right now. You will be able to, they will be able to build their profile, because when they do projects on the market, in the marketplace, they get higher in search results. You can also leave feedback to their work and so on. So let me see where we are now. Okay, so I'm waiting for Faustina to translate several words so we can, by the way, why don't we take a look inside, right? Okay, here we see Faustina working. I understand it's not easy to be translating right along as we work. What about the Spanish article? We started with segment. I already forgot, by the way. We can also filter results. We want to see, for instance, what a specific translator has done, and we can do it like this. Confirmed on the stage translation, changed by Virginia, like this. It was the Virginia from within the account. Here, you can see the task translated by Virginia. Okay, so now Faustina has translated already one segment. Can you, did you confirm that segment? Can you confirm it, Faustina? Okay, so now let's refresh. Here you go. So we can stop it right now, and I will show the payment process. So as I said, Smartcat makes it easier for you, whether as an agency owner or as a freelancer who works for a client, to pay, because you do not need to pay directly to Virginia or Faustina. You only need to pay once to Smartcat, and Smartcat will distribute the amount. So what I will do right now is confirming these documents. So to be able to pay for a document, you must have it confirmed. So let me deassign our volunteers from the project. That's the Italian version. Here's the Spanish version. Okay, my deassigning the translators doesn't affect the payments that must be made to them. If I update this page, you can still see that, oh, Virginia has translated her whole text. Anyway, now what I need to do to be able to pay for a project, the project needs to be completed. For it to be completed, it must, of course, be translated in full. So what we can do here, we can go to the project. Usually it's not done like this. I mean, you don't usually pay when the project is not over yet, but in our case, we need to do it. So what we will do is we will open that project first for Spanish and then for Italian. I will copy all the text from the source to the target. And I will do the same in the Italian project. Now, hopefully what I can do is sorry, again, a bit of technical difficulties here. So we need to do here, we need to batch confirm all the segments, which is, I guess, a feature that is not available by default, but we can fix it. Just 1 second. So usually this is done by the support. If you want to turn on that feature, you just write to support, asking them to turn on batch segment confirmation. But in my case, I will do it myself. It will take around 5 minutes of your time for me to do it. In the meantime, we will go here. So I will now go to the administrator panel of Smartcat, and I will add this feature to my account to be able to, sorry, I will take them out. It's not that fun when everything works fine from the beginning, right? So we should be glad that it didn't. I will find, you do not see, of course, what I'm doing right now. I'm just saying it out loud. I will find my account. I will edit it. And I will add the batch segment confirmation feature. By the way, it might be interesting for you to see as well how it works. So how everything can be fixed quickly if something doesn't work. So let us now try to refresh this page. And this one as well. And this one as well. So now you can see that the confirmation button has a drop-down menu here. And if I click it, I can confirm all segments. Same for Italian. So in this case, I will now be able to confirm all the segments and mark the document as completed. And important to know that is whoever first confirms the segment gets paid. So if a translator confirms a segment, they are paid for it. But if some else translator confirmed it before them, if there was a 100% match, say, and it was already pre-confirmed, in that case, you are not paid for confirming that segment for the second time. Just a moment. Yeah, Franco, if your profile is not open to the marketplace, then you might not be able to get projects from Smartcat because no one will see you. Sorry for this. Okay, so let us try to, to confirm all the segments here and confirm all the segments here. You can see how it's done. And you can also see in the workspace that it's also getting more and more. I think we'll need to wait a minute or two. In the meantime, by the way, you can ask any questions if you want on the left in the questions and answers section. Anything about hiring freelancers, being hired as freelancers, and so on and so forth. You can also ask them in the chat if you wish. You see, the documents are being translated. We just have to wait a few more seconds. I should have chosen a smaller document to showcase in the webinar. But anyway, so we have confirmed all the segments in the Spanish document and finalizing the Italian one. As soon as all the segments are confirmed, I can mark the document as completed. You can mark completed individual documents in individual languages. So for instance, if you order a translation to 10 languages and 9 translators completed on time and 1 is not on time, you can confirm the work of those who have completed it and wait until the last one does it. So now we have everything. So we will complete this project. What about the Italian one? Okay, so it was confirmed on the translation stage. We now have to wait while it's confirmed on the editing stage. Okay, done for Spanish. It's marked as completed, as you can see. Now, if you go to the same, okay, it will be same here. Now we will go to the document that is called Bills and Payments, to the page that's called Bills and Payments. To the left, in the payment section, you open Bills and Payments. And you can now already see the work done by Virginia and Faustina. There is also another job done by Vanessa, but that's another issue. That's a real project. So I will now actually go ahead and pay. So how you pay on Smartcat? This is done by choosing the jobs you want to pay. Sometimes you want to split them, but usually you would just select all. I will not be doing it right now. I will choose the 2 jobs that we have been doing so far. So Faustina's and Virginia's. And I will click Create Bill and Pay. And actually, you can choose in which currency to pay, depending on the method that's more comfortable to you. I will choose US dollars. Okay, so I'm clicking Create Bill. So now there are 2 options. If you are a company that has an accounting department, you might sometimes need to have proper documents in place. In this case, and pay by wire transfer. In this case, Smartcat prepares for you all the documents you need to pay. And it can also do it from a number of legal entities, because Smartcat has legal entities in different countries, in the US, in Russia, in Europe. You can choose the one that your company is more comfortable working with, write it to support, and we will adapt it as needed. But I am not a legal entity, so to me it's hard to pay from this document. But what I will do is I will pay via PayPal. So once a bill is created, you go to Bills and Payments. You see there are the bills that were paid by myself before, but that's the last one, and I can pay it by card. You can, at any moment, you can dismiss a bill, so you delete it. And let me also show you add some more tasks. So the thing is, why I said in the description that you can also pay for any task. For instance, let's say Virginia not only translated for me, but also did some interpreting task. So you can do it by clicking Create Freelancers Task. You choose the freelancer from your team. Let me choose Virginia. Let me choose Faustina because she had less to translate. I will call it interpreting. I will enter any description here, like some event. Okay, let's call it Florence event. I will say, for instance, okay, the real prices may be different. 5 minutes for $1 each, so it will be $5 to pay. And I can create this task. So you can use Smartcat to pay not only for jobs that you do on Smartcat, but for any other jobs. If you have freelancers and you are struggling to pay to them because they are located in different jurisdictions, some are located, I don't know, in countries where you cannot easily send money, you can do this via Smartcat because Smartcat can generally pay to almost any country in the world. So we will choose again these jobs that we want to pay for. I'm clicking Create Bill and Pay in one currency. This time I will choose pay by card. So like this easily, you can of course, I could pay by card, but that would take me entering my card data in this webinar. I will instead pay by PayPal. It's opened in a new window, just so you know, because here it shows this, and I have another window open in which I will now enter my PayPal credentials. In the meantime, Carl asks, Vova, could the Smartcat team make batch confirmation of all segments a standard feature in future, please? Yes, sure, but it's really easy to turn it on. Just ask the support team, write to support@smartcat.ai, and it will be turned on for any account. These are so-called beta features that we are still testing out. That's why we don't want to allow them to all people at all. Okay, so I'm now paying for that job. Hopefully I have enough money on my PayPal. I hope so. And I click confirm. Okay, so my payment has been successfully processed. Now Faustina and Virginia should have received an email saying that I have paid for a job and that they can get it within 5 days to their preferred method. They can get it also to PayPal, to a bank card, by wire transfer, and so on. There are different conditions for each of those options, but in general, both the customer can pay by the method they prefer and the freelancer can receive money by the method they prefer. So, and here now I have one more bill here that shows that I have paid for all the tasks. That ends this cycle that I wanted to show in this webinar. I'm sorry for the technical issues we had. I hope you still enjoyed it and found it interesting what you can do on Smartcat. If you have any questions at any time, you can stop by our community. You can, of course, always ask support@smartcat.ai, and you can just as well open the community website, which is located at community.smartcat.ai. And ask your questions here. So there's a lot of people here, including myself, and we're eager to help you with any questions you might have with Smartcat or with the translation profession in general. That's it. Hope you enjoyed it. I see that there are no questions asked, which might be a good thing or a bad thing. But anyway, if you have more, just ask. Thank you for coming. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Carl. You're welcome, everyone. See you next week. Probably we will have something new to tell you, and enjoy working in Smartcat, and see you online. Take care. Bye-bye and ta-ta. Ciao.